Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. This is Grand Arena, the first match of the final week, Season 38. We begin this season in Kyber 2. For our usual recap, go to the last Grand Arena video, 38.2.3. I put the results and the Grand Arena history in that last video, so we're not going to do it in this one. With this match, we're going to go straight into the bracket. My opponent here is Titan Z. Let's see if we can record this quickly this time, because I have tried multiple attempts at doing this and I'm taking too long. So Titan Z here is pretty strong. He's probably the second best roster of the bracket. Now I'm going to give a quick overview of some of the others, because I do want to talk about this bracket a little bit in detail. But there's two players off screen I want to draw attention to, Grand Moff and Rocktite. Grand Moff, he's the player who I think has the best roster of the bracket. Rocktite, he has 3 GLs, which makes him an outlier like me, but I think he's going to struggle. Partly because of how his roster is different than mine. One of those places is with his depth at 147 Gear 11 plus characters. Now this guy, Mini, with his name cut off in the guild Phalanx, he has the best Datacrons of the bracket and the best mods of the bracket, so he is worth acknowledging as well. But we're going to return to my side of the screen here and get to talking about the rest of this in detail. Now, Omicrons, I'm tied with my opponent at 16. That Grand Moff guy has the most at 19. Relic units, my opponent has the most of the bracket at 148. That's part of how he's coming among the top rosters of this bracket overall. In terms of depth, no one's really scary. I have the most at 233. Everyone else is in this 190, more in the 180 range is the average. Relic distribution, this is another place where my opponent shines. He has the best he has the best relics at the high end of the relic tiers, with tier 5, tier 7 counts, tier 8 counts, where he is looking very good, if not leading the bracket. With the 6-dot mods, this is where my opponent's weaker, where that Grand Moff player does better, but Grand Moff's actually not the best. The guy from the Phalanx Guild has the best mods debatably overall. I'm very strong, but I've been stronger. One of the things I always show is, like, even though I have fewer 6-dot mods, my numbers are going to be better than most players. I'm 4th with the top 25 mods, which is unusual. With the top 500, I am 2nd. There's one player, Grand Moff, is beating me at 17.3. And then with the specific counts, I am also very favorable. Grand Moff beating me out on a few of these. And in general, one of the things I've been doing is holding this back because there's a video I want to make that I've been continuously putting off. With Datacrons, my opponent is it's arguable between my opponent and I who has the second best Datacrons. The guy in the Phalanx Guild has the best Datacrons. I think I'm slightly better than my opponent, but it really comes down to what those level 9 Datacrons are. But in general, most everyone in this bracket are participating in Datacrons, which is unusual. The outlier this time is the guy who is not participating in Datacrons, which is not what I've seen lately. Now with GLs, my opponent does not have Jabba. Only 3 of us in the bracket have Jabba. He does have Lord Vader though, and only 3 players don't have Lord Vader. I am the only player without Sith Eternal Emperor. Only these 2 guys here, my opponent and this Darth Sulfurous, are the only players in the bracket with Rey. And then 3 of us don't have SLKR. With the Omicron portion, this just gives us an opportunity to talk about a few of these characters. Everybody pretty much has a Relic 7 or higher Malgus. Looks like 2 players don't have the Profundity, but most everyone has a Relic 9 Raddus. There are 2 players without an Omicron on Iden, which that is one of the biggest no-brainers, and she's perfectly fine using that Omicron at Gear 8. It's a strong contender for your first Omicron. It's that or Qui-Gon, I think, are the first Omicrons to drop. 1 player without Starkiller. The dashes are all looking fine. Wampa, everyone has... Well, there's 2 players who don't have at least a Relic 6 Wampa. There are 3 players without the Omicron on Savage. That's another one that I think is really worthy on me. I did add a Relic level to my Savage. Looks like people are finally getting the memo on Traya. Maybe it's because everyone has a Relic Traya here except for me, but only 1 player without the Traya Omicron, which usually the bracket has more players without it. So I'm glad to see that changes. People are finally catching up. It's been ridiculous how long players have taken to adjust to how good that Omicron is. Dr. Aphra, I'm the only one who has her unlocked. Half the bracket is using Swolo, half is not, even though 3 of them who are not using Swolo could be, and he's perfectly great with JTR. You'll see me use him this match, I'm sure. Only 2 players who have bothered to use Zori, me being one of them. Nobody with Reva. When it comes to the rest of these characters, and there's a couple players who aren't activating characters. There's no reason not to activate a character. You're actively hurting your roster if you don't. Bloat doesn't exist as a concept, and it was oversold even when it was a thing. Now, the rest of this here is fine. And when it comes to the Profundity, interestingly, only 1 player who has a 7-star Profundity. With the hotbot information here, we're going to go through this quick. This is interesting. My opponent is very low on these numbers to the point where I question his participation. I didn't do the Twitch stream I usually do on Tuesdays this week. I got deadlines, which is why we also don't have talk videos out on the Sith Fury class Interceptor or the Road Ahead. I'll put videos out on them, but they're going to be a little belated. But it looks like here, yeah, those numbers reflect a player who does not fully engage in this game mode. But also, if you're going to be in Kyber 2, you have to participate, so it's a little interesting to see. I don't know what to read from that. Most of the rest is on the bracket, so we're just going to scroll through this. In terms of his modding, it looked pretty good when we were looking at the bracket, but we'll still do this. This is one of our regular features on the show. I have done no prep work on this, so I have no idea where we're at. When it comes to the characters with 300 speed or higher, he's a little shallow. Shock T is the last one. Grief Karga's at 297. Shock T's at 301. That's only 22 characters. The modding is not terrible, but there's several characters like Rex here who should be faster. Or Veers. Veers should be way faster. So that might help us out a little bit. But we did see his modding was not terrifying in general, at least his counts. But he has a few of the key characters where they need to be. Now let's take a look at the defense. Looks like he's probably in Asia. Okay, he started attacking. So I was kind of hoping, because it's pretty late. It's after midnight here. I need to go to bed, but I know in the morning I wasn't going to have an opportunity to record. Because I got deadlines for Friday. I got to meet with clients, and that means I am not going to have a lot of time to do anything tomorrow. Although, by the time I post this, the Twitch stream probably is going to happen, would have already happened, but I don't know, maybe we'll get this out earlier. I'm pretty sure I'll take a little bit of time during the day, and maybe we get to post this video beforehand. But look out on the Discord for that kind of stuff. Let's see what happened. Happened again. So this team doesn't look very surprising. I don't have the Omicron, and I almost put that Omicron on. But this team got some holds last week. It actually got me a win last week in 38.2.1. That match, my opponent one-shot everything but this Finn squad. Now, part of it is my opponents might underestimate it, but if you actually look at my Grand Arena history, and it's in that video 38.2.3 at the end of the video, he used a dash squad up against it, which was kind of shocking. Maybe his mods were awful. I don't know the specifics, but this squad I threw on defense last week on a whim, and it's done a little bit of work for me. And it's just a testament to how good Zori is. If you have Ray, you need to have Zori. Because Zori is awesome. Sana here doing nothing. I might actually put the relics on Stormtrooper Hunt, because this team is legit if you have everybody at relics. Especially if you have the Datacron, which I do. Like, I put in the work to get the Datacron. I can't even use it. But maybe I'll do it. The Mon Mothma and Hux go down. Bottom territory. Looks like he... Ooh, that's nice. 6 up against Maul. He's done that once before. I think like a week or 2 ago he did that. That's a nice result. I love it when my defense does work like this. Because I've been complaining... Not complaining is the wrong way to phrase it. I have been just kind of dispirited with the quality of my defense lately, because the way that I have to play offense because I lack so many teams, or because I lack the GLs, so I need to utilize more of my teams for offense. It just means my defense by necessity gets worse. One thing is I did leave Django on defense. I'm just not going to use him with Trench, at least for now. I've been getting decent enough usage out of Trench with Ventress replacing Django, or really Dooku's been taking the Django slot, and then Ventress has been taking the Dooku slot. It's been serviceable. It'd be my Gear 11 Trench, which really, I should have took him up to Gear 12. But at Gear 11, my Trench is beating Mon Mothma squads. We'll see if he can do more than that, but I've been satisfied so far. And now here's my opponent's defense. We got to deal with Lord Vader, Grand Inquisitor, which I don't think anyone should be putting on defense, Raddus, Rey. Just thinking through how I'm going to play. What I had been doing for the past couple weeks is, for at least 2 of my matches, we have been going on Twitch, doing a little Grand Arena prep, which I did not do yesterday, so I'm just flying by the seat of my pants right now. We're gonna... Okay, so here's... This is actually a team to not underestimate. I was using the HUD Cartel before I got Jabba to do a lot of nice work. Like they could handle a Newt team, no problem. Okay, and then JML Malgus. Alright, we'll get started. This should be straightforward. We're going to do Inquisitors here, although Barris you need to be careful with, but it's Gear 12, so it should be fine. The reason you want to be careful is because that Zeta ability with the Swift Recovery. What did I just click on? It's this debuff. Actually, that is more annoying in 3v3, and it's really just because there's fewer characters, so that comes into play much more often. I think in 5v5 we're fine. Just because we're going to use Grand Inquisitor, and when in 3v3, it really messed me up in 3v3 because it's always getting rid of the Purge, so Grand Inquisitor can't really do what he wants to do. But also, I expect an AoE from 8th Brother to just blow up Barris. Alright, let's get started. How much time do we have left on this set? This is probably our last week with this set, isn't it? Because we're about to get that new set. Alright. You know, I am not sharp today. I didn't check audio levels or anything. Hopefully it's all fine. Okay. I want to target... I kind of want to get rid of Barris. I just really feel like Barris is going to do some annoying things. Also, I should actually hit the Purge on... Fine. This is how we're going to do all this. Okay, AoE, take out Barris, please. Not quite. I'm going to basic, because I think I'll get another turn. because we got hit the 6 purge. And now, you know what, I'm going to hit him again with the basic because he's going to hit him 3 times, and that might get close to perfect. Perfect, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. There you saw the purge get cleansed because of Barris, and that's why I want Barris gone. Now we don't need to worry about that annoyance. Let's heal up a bit. Maybe we max out on banners. We'll AoE. Take out the only one who can threaten a win. Maybe I should have hit Hermit. It doesn't matter. Okay. We're gonna gas Malgus, see how it goes. This is one thing. I wanted to up the relic levels on these guys, but I didn't. We will put a Datacron on. And this is one of those things where it's just, I don't care what the Datacron is, put a Datacron on your characters if you can. In this case, I'm going with the Tenacity up one, because Rex can throw that Tenacity up. Although in this match, he doesn't really get too many opportunities. At most, maybe twice. But I still just, I like it. That Tenacity up Datacron, though, is awesome on JMK. I took my JMK up against a superior JMK squad with better relics, better modding, and that Datacron made all the difference. I was able to beat a superior JMK using that Datacron. Because there's just enough mechanics that are throwing up Tenacity up on that squad where I just always had stacking protection up. Please don't die, guys. This has been happening a lot lately from you guys. Yeah, I don't know why you want to play like this. Nope. Nope. Why are you putting me in another cleanup situation? Can you take him out? Counter twice. Take him out. No. Come on. Go down. Yes. Okay. 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 Let's take out Fallen if I can. Awful. Just awful. We're gonna go for Revan. Please let me take some bodies out. Oh, come on, man. This is why I gotta up the relics on all those characters. Because this is too much of an uphill battle. I'm going to do the armor shred on him first because maybe that'll help me take him out. Yes. Come on. Let me take out Marauder. Please. Okay. Now. Okay. That's fine. This is actually fine because this is something I've only been able to show once before, but we've done it a couple times. I want to show it again. Let's check the Datacron here. Yeah, it's the tank ally defeated one, which is what it should be. Not gonna hate that one being gone. But what we're gonna do, this is what I want to do with Hondo. I'm gonna do Cure Lead. I'm gonna throw in some bodies here. We're gonna take, I don't know, Chewie, and then Hondo. I'm gonna play this manually at first, but we do need to be a little bit careful with the clock because of the revive, because we need to take him out twice. So with Cure, I do want to call Hondo for the assist. That's going to help ransom stack. And what I want to do is play this manually until I get my stacks up. Because there is the risk of dying goes away once the stacks are up on of ransom on Hondo. And I want everyone to die off. Like, that's the whole deal with Hondo. He gets better when all these fools die. We'll do Kira. Next turn we'll be able to throw capture down again. And I'm going to hit auto in a second. There's capture again. Actually, I'm going to do it next turn because I want to call the assist from Kira onto Hondo. And now we auto. It's 3.5 minutes to get through Malgus twice. And I will use this time to talk about the road ahead and the Sith Fury class interceptor, because I will put the videos out, but they're going to be a little late, so you'll at least hear some of my thoughts right now. The road ahead was a little thin, but I thought there was a lot of great information in there. It was pretty exciting. The biggest thing for me was the fleet management. I have hated not having fleet management. I've made mistakes because of not having fleet management. I have put the wrong fleets down. I've brought in the wrong capital ships with different fleets. I've gone in, like with my Raven's Claw fleet or my Profundity, like I bring in only 2 reinforcements, but sometimes during Grand Arena I will throw in a third accidentally and it messes up using another fleet. Those kinds of things are no longer going to happen with fleet management. That, I think, is going to be a huge quality of life update. Looks like we're getting close here. Really wish Malgus would help me out and take out a few of these guys. These are Gear 11 characters. One hit should... There's one. There's one end to Malgus. We got 2 minutes left, which is a good time. 1.5 on the first one. Hopefully Malgus helps speed this along by taking out the rest of these guys. The only issue is Malgus is a little unfocused, a little ADD going on where he's just not sticking with one guy until they're gone. Anyway, the other thing, I don't know if it's the guild thing that they did. I don't know if it's territory battle and territory war. And there we go. Did it pretty quick without the extra help of everybody else going in. We'll keep talking about this topic in a moment. But we're going to move on here. It's one of the great uses of Hondo. He's also great as a Watt replacement. But I like being able to do that and not having to resort to Mando or other things. Because we might be in a situation where, like for instance, we have to deal with Raddus. I'm not going to be able to use my Traya up against Raddus because I have to use Traya up against Grand Inquisitor. So that means maybe I'm going to use Bounty Hunters up against Raddus. These kinds of situations Hondo saves me from because I didn't need to use Bounty Hunters as a Malgus cleanup. I might use CLS up against Gas, but I think what we're going to do is the other GLs right now. We know he doesn't have Jabba, so we don't need to be careful with my Dr. Aphra. That means Lord Vader gets Aphra. This is the Datacron I'm going to miss. This Datacron has made me lazy. It's just awesome. It just works. Like the CLS Chewpio Datacron, that one you gotta like play it right and be careful. Like it can beat Jabba, it can beat Lord Vader, but it can also lose to him This one, though, you don't lose. All right. We'll get back to the road ahead in a moment once I feel like we're on autopilot here. Okay, here's the big step. We do this. Merciless Massacre. I will... And honestly, that feels like not enough debuffs. We'll basic. Chuck this at Thrawn. Basic. Basic. Merciless Massacre. Awesome. There goes one. Cat's playing with some trash that she took out of the trash can. At least that's where I hope it came from. Yeah, okay, we're gonna go back to Roadhead. We've won this. I might even auto it. But the territory battle, territory war thing, maybe it's one or the other. I didn't read it in detail, but it looked like it is now going to be tracking points for a little bit more incentive for participation from guildmates, which I think is going to be fun thing. It's like fun for bragging rights. Like it's when you have a good territory wars, you have these good moments. It just kind of disappears, and to be able to just consistently build on those kinds of statistics, I think it'll be healthy for guilds. It's also one of those things where it creates an incentive for some guilds to stick together, where when all these changes happen, like these raid changes could potentially just be disruptive to guilds, or territory battles being disruptive to guilds. When you've built up those stats with a group, you kind of want to have them. Like, I have really nice donation numbers, and I've had to rebuild those donation numbers each time I change guilds. And it's one of those things that I care about. I mean, most people don't care about it, but it's something that if it was a number that other players cared more about, like these numbers will presumably, other players will be more motivated to care about them. Maybe it helps. It's just one more incentive for a player to maybe stick around instead of having these kinds of guild shakeups we've seen in the past when CG's made these kinds of changes with challenge rancor and other things. All right, let's try this. We have yet to use my GLs, so that's going good. It's one of the... I wonder if I should have... No, we've always had to use my GLs. Okay. I am a little surprised that they didn't announce or give any clarity about a raid reward. I did put in the quarterly speculation that I think it is going to be Cobb Vanth. I think he makes a lot of sense. And raid rewards, I don't think need to be at the level of a Conquest or other characters. They need to be good, but they don't need to be like game defining. They're more like territory battle level characters. Shouldn't that get rid of the taunt? When I throw on isolate? Come on. Let me take out. Let me take him out. Is it that turn yet? Okay. No. That'll take out 7th Sister. There goes their main heal. Increase the cooldowns. Next turn we'll be able to take out Grand Inquisitor. And they will have lost. I will lose Sith Trooper though. I should probably look at his mods. Alright. We can't lose from here, so I'm gonna hit auto and we're just gonna go back to talking about the road ahead. Yeah, it's now 1 a.m. and I am tired. The rest of the road ahead, what else was in there? They talked about the Sith Fury class Interceptor again. That Interceptor looks good. I think the announcement of the Leviathan with the in-game update is also very interesting, although the community thought the Ravager. Leviathan's fine. I have no real preference on either. Just be working on your Sith Empire characters, like Sith Assassin most obviously. I've been talking about it for months now, how you need to be working on Sith Assassin. Because she has the fleet, but she's also a pain to gear, and most players had ignored her. She is definitely going to be required to get that ship unlocked. Now, probably also some of these other characters like Sith Marauder, Sith Trooper, definitely Sith Trooper, because we haven't needed Sith Trooper at Relics. Like Marauder is required for Sith Eternal Emperor. They can double up. They've doubled up on plenty of these characters, but Revan will probably be pushed up in Relics. Basila. What's nice is most of these Relics are going to push up characters that would be nice to have at Relics regardless. There's probably going to be some weird outliers though, like maybe some weird Sith characters, like maybe Darth Maul will go higher with the Scimitar, depending on if there's going to be larger Sith ship synergy in that fleet or not. Alright, we got Rey. I'm going to do Starkiller just because I want to see it. And I'm fairly certain that we won. And also because we're going to have to be dealing with this Datacron set for another several weeks. 2 months? I don't even remember. I'm too tired right now to understand when these things... What's the rate? Is it... Yeah, it's 2 months and then we get... It's 4... Is it 4 months total? Is that right? That sounds wrong. This sounds wrong. Is it a month on, month off? That was what it was before, I think. Okay, so we have these characters. I need to have a better feel for how Starkiller is going to do up against this squad with the new Datacrons when opponents have good Datacrons on them. Not that one doesn't look great. Yeah, I don't care about that one. Because we can just throw shock. This next Datacron, let's talk about that. The next Datacron set, I am getting that Mara J Datacron. That Mara J Datacron sounds good. There were a couple other Datacrons I wanted to use. The Fulcrum one sounds awesome. It's just, unless I'm using Fulcrum as like a solo character, I'm not going to have the rest of those characters unlocked, or not unlocked, up to relics by the time that Datacron set expires. So I knew they were going to counter, but it was important for me to get tenacity down on the field. And now we're going to throw staggered. We're going to get a bunch of turn meter from all the debuffs, so I was fine risking it. Now we are going to trigger the staggers and remove the turn meter. I'm going to try and get the stuns because everyone's got tenacity down. We got a couple. Oh, not that. Ray can get it. Let's get a big hit on Solo. Are you going to freeze on me again? You didn't freeze on me again, which is great. That happened in the last match. I'm glad it was a fluke. Let's basic. He's got Shatter Point. Let's call him Starkiller. I'm talking too much. We're gonna run out of clock because that's what happens in this match is big clock issues. Can we trigger it, please? Fine. I'm gonna target him. We'll get turn meter. I'm gonna do some debuffs, and we'll hit Finn. Awesome. That triggers that. Can we trigger it on Poe? Triggered on Poe. Not quite. How about? Oh, come on. Yeah, this just feels like, I don't know if the Datacron's making a difference. I think it's just more, I need to up, well, one, Veers needs a relic, but I need to up relics and stuff. Because we're going to take a big hit. Let's throw debuffs. Let's get some more tenacity down at least. Because we can at least throw debuffs on everybody if, I need to be careful not to trigger the staggers. I guess it doesn't matter as I only care about Ray taking a turn. I'm gonna do this ability because I'm expecting Veers to just die right now. Yeah. We'll do it. Okay. This should actually take out Finn, so I'm going to take him out. Where are you, Ben? I'm going to hit Ben. I can't take him out, but and I haven't triggered the damage immunity on Ray. I should have been focused on Ray this whole time. And we have that thing, and damage immunity still on Poe, so what do I care about any of this? Okay. Hit the shatter. Oh my god, I'm out of time. I gotta do unleashed. Gotta do unleashed. Oh my god, did you? Do it. Unleashed. Come on, Come on. Unleash it now. No. Yes! Fine. Okay. I can live with that. We'll come back. We gotta clear the lower territory. What do I want to do here? What was I thinking? There's something I was thinking about lately about something can beat gas that I wanted to do. I can't think right now. I'm just gonna CLS this. I want to move on. Oh, we gotta do Merrin testing. I mean, we're obviously not gonna do Merrin testing up against gas, but I forgot about Merrin. What if we do that up against the huts? That might be fun. I have no idea what's on the back wall, though. Do thermals prevent revives? I feel like I've had mixed results on that. So the Chewpio Datacron doesn't really matter here because this could win pre-Chewpio Datacron. Don't do the AoE yet. You might accidentally take somebody out you don't want to. Just focus on 5s. Awesome. Now you take out everybody. Rex is gone. Now they can definitely not win. I'm going to basic because I want to take out Awesome. And we'll do the AoE. That'll be enough to take out Echo. There's our protection up. Probably the most important Datacron from this set. I mean, it can beat GLs, so it's anything that elevates a non-GL squad into being into beating GLs is going to be pretty critical. What do I want to do here? This does feel like a candidate for Night Sisters. I'm going to do it. This is going to mess up my trench testing, though, because I had been using Asajj with trench last week. But here's the thing. I've been talking about this in several videos now. I still want to message it. Maybe I'll feel different after this battle, because this is my first like real use of this team. I've used this team in just a couple other times, but with how good Merrin is at Plague, I'm wondering if at the right levels Asajj is not going to be needed for the squad. Because Plague is ignoring protection. It can take out teams without that damage being necessary. But it's all going to come down to the play. I also don't have the Omicron on either Ventress or Merrin. I want to do a little bit of play without it to see how necessary I think it is. So we'll see how this goes. This should be interesting. Hopefully we didn't choose an absolutely terrible matchup. Oh, just... Okay. Stun. It's not going to defeat an enemy. We do want it to defeat an enemy. I think I want a basic. right? Yeah, I don't care about that. I'm gonna do a basic. I'm gonna dispel because I'll get rid of the bounty hunter thing, the whatever, the little skiff Lando thing. Screech. Perfect. I feel like I'm gonna run out of clock is what's gonna happen. Perfect, there's 2 sacrifices. We're gonna just do another basic. AoE, get plague on everybody. Perfect. Well, AoE, because it'll up the plague. Because using specials increases the plagues. We're gonna just go with that. Okay. Okay. There's one. That was all plague. Like, plague is what took him out. And there's a lot of plague on everyone else. They're getting hit by plague. Well, I guess plague doesn't ignore protection, but it... Oh, I think it attacks both health and protection is how it works. I forget how it works. It's doing both, though. Which is the point I was trying to make. But we're not upping the health on Daka in the way that I'd like to, which worries me a little. So I'm going to heal myself. We are recovering enough protection, though, where it's a little bit less of a concern. Little concerned about the clock. We're gonna AoE with... Oh, he died. Never mind. We'll still do the AoE because maybe we'll take out Lando. Nope. We're not upping our damage in the way that I'd like. That is a concern because they haven't taken anyone out in a while. Okay, perfect. I do want it to try and take out Lando. He's closer. This is also one of those things where I didn't care that CG Gear 12 locked the ability on Merrin. Is she not going to come back? See, I think she died from the thermal, which maybe it's like something in Boushh's kit that was doing it. Anyway, good enough. I could have healed earlier and she wouldn't have died. Alright, let's see what he's got for me on the back wall. I got 2 GLs, so we're fine. I'm expecting it's weak though. Alright, we got Dash, Mon Mothma, and Phasma. Alright, what do we want to do? I want to do some testing. I want to do let's do Cere Junda up against Phasma. This could go poorly with the Omicron, but actually, no, maybe not. This should be good up against this team. At least with more stars and stuff, they'd be good. Oh, I wanted to take crew off. Where's my notes? That doesn't have ink. Where? I want Kylo Ren for... I need a tank to keep these guys alive. I need crew. Alright, let's see how this goes. I've been so excited for Saw for so long, but somehow I think I'm more excited for Tarful. Just because I feel like Tarful's going to do some weird things to the game, and I'm kind of looking forward to what that could be. I think I want to take out the TIE Pilot first. I kind of just want to get rid of this Omicron. But I expect this to be good, even though they're going to be fast and they're going to take turns. But this team is all built around the opponent taking turns, so that this should be fine. And this team's like, these are 3-star characters, and just look at them take these hits. Like, their damage is increasing as well. Scavray and Fulcrum's damage increase. Let's heal up Scavray a bit. She'd be awesome at relics, but she's perfectly fine here. Does this ignore? So they're going to dodge this, is what you're saying. Oh wait, no, this can't be faded. Okay, great. That's all I wanted. Just can't read anymore. Officer's the engine of this thing, so I'd like to get rid of him. I'm gonna hit Phasma. I feel like using that ability on Phasma at this point would have been a waste of that ability, because very little was left needed to take out what was left of Officer. This is just crushing this Omicron. I wonder what this would have done up against the Phasma army in T-dubs. Yeah, this is crushed. Awesome. Let's auto it. What's left in that road ahead? The Crate Dragon. So there's a couple things that are going to be important with that. And I think I'm actually going to talk a little bit about that more when I do make a video on it. There's a mechanic with Swallow that you're going to need to understand how that functions. Because he can use that ability every 2 turns, and it's an insta-kill. Alright. Dash. Dash. Mothma. We can Trench that, we can Tuskens that. We know both work. Dash, though, is going to blow up the Tuskens. We're not going to do that. You know what? What was on the front territory? We had Raddus and what? Raddus and what? Or was just Raddus left? Oh, I had a cleanup array. That doesn't count. We'll use a GL up against Raddus. Maybe we'll do the bounty hunter thing. I don't think it matters. We're gonna up against Dash. I think we'll do the trench testing because we've already done trench up against Mon Mothma. We know what happens there. It takes a little bit of time, but it's safe. This is new. So let's do trench. Dooku, Newt, Watt, and this time I want to bring in Brood Alpha because we don't have Ventress or Jango. And the only thing that you can't do with Geonosians is you can't put on the protection mod on them. And that was literally the only thing in the kit that said you couldn't use Geonosians for. Everything else was fine. So that is going to go on Dooku. Oof. I'm going to put the health tech onto Brood Alpha. I don't have a good option for the weapons tech though. That's not great. We will put extortion on, I guess, Dash, because he's the only one who scares me here. We're gonna have to go after Vandor. Fortunately, there's no tank. I feel like we're gonna win, and it's not gonna teach us anything. That stun's not great. Let's cleanse our boy Trench. Get some nice exposes. I'm gonna give the weapons tech to Trench because I don't want to put it on Newt and no one else deserves it. Fine. We'll throw it on Vandor, take Vandor out. Captain Han has to be next, otherwise he's gonna bring back Vandor, and then we gotta deal with that nonsense. This team needs a tank. This isn't like a real Dash team, so even though it's fully relicked, I don't really feel like we're learning anything because we were able to just target who we wanted and do whatever we wanted to. Prepared doesn't do that much to these characters because they're not smugglers with prepared synergy. Like, they're getting a little bit of a stat boost, but they're barely taking turns, so who cares? Alright, we'll hit auto. The other things with the Crate Dragon, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on with Defiance and how Enraged works. What does seem nice, though, is you can't remove turn meter from it, although removing turn meter does feed into the Enrage. So there's a lot of things that have to be balanced when we go up against it. I don't think in my cursory read-through it said who counts as a hero for this raid. So I think the next time we get an update on this raid, they're going to talk about who has a hero tag on it, because they did say what benefits we get from the hero tag, which were significant. But I think we'll get that along with learning who the raid reward character is, assuming that we get one. Which I think's a safe assumption, but it's not guaranteed yet. Let's do Tuskens. Even though I think it's going to be fine, I still want to do it. We used a lot of weak stuff. After dealing with the... Oh my god, we lost a guy that fast. Come on, man. At least we don't lose anyone important, but still. Of all the characters we could lose, that was probably the one I would have chosen. I'm getting the feeling that the Tuskens are not going to work. That was bad. We've beaten Mon Mothmas before. But that was bad. That was actually probably the biggest thrashing that we've had. Maybe it's this data. That didn't come. I mean, that they were getting that benefit, but that hardly made a difference for how quickly they took us out. I guess the AoEs. All right. Anything else I want to try? Oh, we have a... How do I think his modding is? Let's check out his modding. Because we have a Relic Dark Trooper now that we didn't have before. His modding looks bad. Oh yeah, we can outrun him. We can outrun him. Let's troopers. Because we finally did one of those Zetas I've wanted, not Zetas, relics I wanted for a long time, which was the Dark Trooper relic. Thing is though, my Gear 12 Dark Trooper would have beat this. All that really, see, the thing is, this is going to be easier because of the relic, but as long as you're faster than Kyle Katarn, I was going to win this anyway with the Gear 12. I'm just going to be able to do it faster. Let's hit Biggs because he's got all that turn meter. Awesome. Yeah, we'd still be working for it. And now we burn through it. Okay, great. Kind of was hoping the Tuskens were going to win that. You know what? I think just as a point, we're not going to use a GL. I'm going to do this. Okay. Yeah, if we can get away with not using a GL, then we're just not going to use a GL. Why not? Yeah, let's hit this. It'll trigger Zam's turn meter. Can we get a stun on Jin? No. How about now? I guess not. Oh, we already got the contract. I don't need to worry about that. Let's chuck this then. I need Mando to take his turn is what I need. So I'm going to I'm going to heal up a little bit. I'm going to see if we can stun Cassian. Awesome. Mando's turn. Come on, Mando. Can you just take your turn, Mando? Oh my god, Mando. I wish these thermals like took turn meter when they blew up. There we finally go. Yeah, let's do Zam. Well, she's about to take her turn anyway, so let's hit with, I guess, Grief. Cassian. Okay. Let's trigger the thermal. We crushed it this time. I did this last week, X in 28 or 38.2.3. It was a lot messier. I think what we're seeing a lot of this match is just mod quality. Yeah. 0 GL offense. Blow up. Not quite. I think I'm gonna up the relics on Swolo. So that was what? 3 GLs plus Malgus, Gas, Grand Inquisitor. No GLs on offense. That makes me happy. All right, come on. I feel like I've been playing this counter like crap lately. Part of it, a little bit, is this counter is not the same as soon as GK gets higher in relics, which is much more common now. We're gonna AoE. Come on, make some progress. Come on. Don't do it. Oh my god. Now let's trigger this nonsense. Trigger that nonsense. Spy, give me some good luck. Not quite the luck I wanted. Let's basic. Take it out. Alright, give me some turn meter. Let's bring a droid onto the field. Give me some buzzes. Don't like all those hits you're taking. No. No, this is bad. Okay, okay, not... Okay, don't die, don't die, don't die. Don't die! This has been happening a lot lately. A lot. Alright, what do I want to do? Do I want to use the... I just want to go to bed is what I want to do. I'm going to blow this up with the profundity. I could have just negotiated. I could have just profundity the negotiator. I just, on principle, I wanted to do the separatist. What am I doing? Can we take this out first? Just, can we do one turn, just take it out? Take it out. Take it out. Take, yes. Okay, perfect. No wobble. Actually, let's go after the TIE Bomber. Because he's got the more annoying taunt. Although I guess with burning, we can't get any assists right now. Okay. I'm gonna, I don't know, Scythe? Scythe is kind of fun. Let's Scythe it. The Sith Bomber has a very weak taunt. And it's something that I do expect that new Sith fleet is going... one of the ways I think it's going to function is just by making that taunt more annoying. Be more reliable. It's a very unreliable taunt. Once we get that Fury class Interceptor, I think it'll be fine with the Chimera for a little bit. Awesome. Players keep doing that. They keep putting Poe in the front line. Poe should be a reinforcement. I keep seeing this. Wobble action. Oh my god, this is taking too long. It's now 1:40 to give you an idea of how much time has gone by. And I feel like 40 minutes ago was where I ran out of energy. Which is why I'm a lot quieter now than I was earlier in this record. Because all I'm thinking about is Slumberland. I'm not going to do that. What I've done a number of times in this kind of situation, I've just thrown in the Raven's Claw because it's dumb and fun. But I want to go to bed. Let's do this. I should just profunditate that in the beginning. What do I want to do? There, turn meter to them both. Let's blow up the thing, the ship. Is this gonna lose, really? You really gonna do this to me right now? Oh my god, you really wanna, you're gonna do this right now. This is not the time for this. Oh my god. What a complete nonsense waste. I'm actually going to bring out the Raven's Claw. You're going to make me do this, aren't you? I should have just taken this seriously to begin with. Now look at me. Resorting to a joke fleet. In a serious way. Alright, let's throw a little of that. Let's remove the turn meter. Perfect. Yeah, let's trigger it. I'm gonna hit. Perfect. There goes Ahsoka. Plo's the only one that actually matters. Take out Plo. Jeez. You really gonna make this much progress? All right, bedtime. Okay, now this all here is like 90% chance the final board. He might attack some more before the end of this. I don't think he has any way to win it, even if he full clears the rest. I think he's lost enough banners where even if he were able to come back and clear more teams, he can't win. I suspect he's done. All that is to say is I don't know if I'm going to attack on any additional information here. Maybe it'll be the next video where if he does attack, we'll show what his final results were. I'm just going to record our outro right now. Because what I'd prefer to do is to edit this and post it sometime the day that you are watching this. So we are going to, this weekend, get out the videos on the State of the Galaxy and the Sith Fury class Interceptor, the next conquest. I think we'll probably talk about maybe some of the Datacron stuff too. Do a couple, 1 or 2 short videos, and we'll do some Twitch streams again with the Grand Arena prep once I'm just past this deadline period. And once we're there, we'll be back on we've been on a pretty good schedule lately. We'll be back to our usual programming, but thank you for watching. Be safe out there, everyone. Be excellent to each other. This is still Blaze Galaxy of Heroes.